and then it goes to the audience, various levels. That's when we will start, and it's not easy. If it is required in the script, it has to be there. That will be my point of view as a creator.
Hi, good evening, Ashwini ma'am. Hello.
Hi, Anita. I have to tell you, you wrote Pangaka review really, really well, and I
Thank you
never
so much.
to thank you. Obviously, all of us were going mad that time. Thank you so much, and nice to meet you. Because when I asked who's acting in, and they said it's you, and I was like, oh wow, I finally met her. So
Yes,
yeah,
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. But what was disappointing is that it didn't do well at the box office. That really, bothered all of us who loved the film. Really.
who knows what happens at the box office? Yeah, the time was the timing correct? Was what happened that time? What was the environment of what was happening in the nation? There's so many things, right? So
Yeah,
and it's a gamble. I think no one can predict what happens in the box office, whatever
that's
happens.
true.
And
That's
I think
true.
this is a business where it is about wooing, going on a date,
Right.
and
You
you
never,
know,
you don't know how it's going to
and
turn
you
out.
wooing a girl or or a boy,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
actually telling the so here you're wooing your audience and you're saying, hey, and that's why you do all that marketing and you do all those things. But
Correct.
that day, what is going to happen on that Friday? What happened in the morning? Were the exams which happened, and all the parents decided, okay, I'm not going to go today to watch a film.
Right. Right.
As simple as that, yeah. I mean, it's
That's
okay.
true.
Someone had told me that, you made a very bad film and you should not be a director. What the hell? Then I
Oh,
would have been, no, if someone had told
okay.
me.
If someone would have told, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, who have, after watching Panga, who can say this? Seriously.
If someone had told me, then I would be like, okay, this is this
Yeah,
this is in my control, right?
right,
Making a film is control. How I make it, that all is in my control. So
right.
I think in the due course of time as creators, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, you say right that you do your best and leave the rest to God.
Yes.
You don't
But
do your
with,
best and then you leave the rest to God, तो वो नहीं होने वाला.
oh,
But
nahi hoga, seriously, yeah.
you need to do your best. You need to feel happy and satisfied that you gave your more than 100%. Then
True,
rest
right.
is. And I also feel that good work never goes unnoticed. So that's
I agree on that. I love the Chotu, the Chota Bacha in the film.
yeah,
Oh God,
yeah,
he was hilarious. He
yeah.
was he was too damn cute,
Yeah.
and we just
He
enjoyed
is
watching
someone
him.
who, again, Mukesh has always been my partner in all my films. And like Nilbate Sannata, I do not know how many kids we had auditioned. So many kids
Yeah.
we had auditioned. Same thing happened here. So many kids, so many kids. And I also feel that जिसका नसीब होता है ना, वो ही आता है film पे.
वो यार, हाँ, वो है.
I
That
just
is
felt
true.
because I auditioned so many kids, and this is the kid I liked. And later on, when you got to know, because you have to talk to his parents and those kind of
हाँ,
things, and where do they stay and all that stuff. Because the dialect was slightly different, and it
yeah.
had to match with Kangna's dialect and Jassi Gill's dialect.
Justice, yeah.
Everything has to match in together. And it so happened that he is also from the hills. He's from Uttarakhand. And
हाँ,
so, it like I said, there is like this. It's a destiny thing कि जिसका नसीब होता है वो ही आता है film पे.
right,
And
right,
everything clicks then. Yeah.
right. So, ma'am, coming back to this new show that we have started, that's called Let's Talk Business,
Oh,
with
I
Box
thought
Office India.
we already started.
Yes, we have started, but I had to introduce you also. So, this is Let's Talk Business with Box Office India, where we are talking about the current scenario that we are facing as a whole, the Bollywood industry is facing. So, to begin with, firstly, how do you see this entire scenario for the Bollywood industry? Good, bad, worse? How do you see that?
It's a very difficult question, okay, for all of us who have been working continuously and who have been writing as a creator, because first I'm a creator and then everything else. I would say it is not good, bad, ugly. I would put it as unknown. The word unknown is what it is for me,
Right.
It is that you have something with you. We all have something with us, but we do not know what is going to happen with it.
True.
So I put this analogy as, and I'm getting a little philosophical here because I do not know how to talk business and I do not know how to talk. I'm purely talking from a very creative perspective, because it all starts, any piece of thing starts with an idea. And
Right.
with that idea, it forms into a script. When that script is formed, there's a director attached to it. When that director is attached to it, then the producer is attached to it right from the beginning. And then
Right.
script is made. When
Right.
that script is made, there are more than 200 people who are working on that film for one person's vision. After that, it goes to a marketing team who's taking care of it. Then it goes to
Right.
a distribution team who's taking care of it. Then it goes to the theater owners who are taking care of it.
Right.
And then it goes to the audience.
Audience.
The audience also takes care of your idea.
Yes.
So if you see the chain, it is like sowing a seed for a crop where it is supported by the sun, rain, and everything which will come along.
Right.
So when you have your first 3 parts ready and the rain just came in, how the crop is going to grow? So who are you supposed to blame? Are you supposed to blame the idea? Are you supposed to who it is in whose hands? If the rain comes, what is going to happen? Either the crop will, or we'll find ways to save that crop, right? And right now we're in a state, all of us who are trying to save that crop, which is our idea. Which is I'm not in that space where I have a film happening or in a film to go in post production. I'm only at writing stage right now. So ad films are there, but that's okay. That's not a problem at all. It can happen anytime later. But this, which involves so much of time and energy of so many people and love of so many people and passion of so many people, they have to take certain decisions, and those decisions are taken because of that rain which has just happened in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You have to save that of yours.
Right. So how do you see?
I'm philosophical about this thing, but I'll just put it in a very layman language,
Yes, absolutely.
I don't understand numbers. I don't want to talk about any of those things. As a creative person, as someone who has seen producers working along with me, everyone is thinking from a very at various levels.
True.
And also, I have to tell you one thing, when we create an idea, we are creating an idea not for today. We are creating an idea for a year later.
Right.
Or a year and a half later. Because by the time it goes into the theaters, it's about 1.5 years. Right. Time changes, people change, environment change. So we are keeping in mind that this is an idea which will be equally profound and 1.5 years later.
Right. It has to stay relevant even after 1.5 years.
Some ideas have to stay relevant, and producers who have stories right now, who is in pre-production, the story has to be relevant now for them.
Yes.
And they will do whatever is best for that story and that crop of theirs.
Absolutely. So, like you said, producers are taking their call depending on their crop or depending on their story.
The crop.
So right now there is a big fight between OTT and the theater release, where the theater owners are not happy that the producers are going ahead and releasing their films on OTT. Where do you stand on this between these two?
See, like I said, I'm in no place to be judging this whole thing, is because I do not have a film out there. If I had a film out there, then I do not know what I would have thought at that point of time, along with my producers, and taken that decision. Everyone has a whole lot of things going on which none of us would know, right?
Right.
So there would always be a point of view on every decision you take. The decisions which every producer is taking for their own films is their own choice, and I would be no one to comment on that. Is because, like I said, it's your crop, and you need to figure out what you want to do with that crop.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it's that, yeah. And there will always be two sides of a coin, right?
Right.
Which and both the coins say something.
Right. Right.
There is a point of view for everything which will always be there. But obviously, no one is right, no one is wrong. Everyone has a fair chance to say what they feel, and it's only correct for them to say what they feel.
Yes. And in current situation, you don't know, like you said, there's no wrong and there's no right.
Yeah.
We have to do what's best for us. But do you think filmmakers will now concentrate more on making films for OTT platforms rather than theater? Because we don't know what future holds for the theater.
I feel that's a wrong way to judge an idea, is because whatever said and done, even if we are okay, hypothetically, if we are writing something for an OTT platform, whether it is an original or whether it's a series obviously will go to an OTT platform only. But for everything you do, you need to go on floor and shoot, right?
Correct. Right.
And if that is only not possible, so what OTT, what theater? So the idea is to first go and shoot, and keeping in mind with the awesome job, I must say, all the communities, whether it's the directors community, Mr. Ashok Pandit, or whether it is the producers guild, IMPA, everyone, I can't put all the names out there because I don't remember all them, but I know all producers guild, production guild, directors guild, all the guilds are doing an awesome job. The amount of mails we get every day about whether are we taking care of ourselves, do we need any help, because there's so many assistant directors, I'm talking from a very director's point of view, who are all freelancers, or whether there is production guys who are all freelancers. So they are taking care how much ever they can. It's not an easy job to take care of everyone, and they're making that extra effort. Of course, there would be some places where there would be the little imbalance, but that imbalance also they're trying to get that imbalance correct. So hats off to them. So when they tell us that it's absolutely fine now to go and shoot, it's absolutely fine to be careful about how you're going to go about with shooting on a set. That's when we will start, and it's not easy. It is not easy. We say that it is easy, but it's not easy, because going on a film set, even if you are working with a crew of 30, and you are having all the gear possible, you are in your most closed conditions. You have to be super, super careful. It's like almost going on to a trek to the Mount Everest. You have to have all your gear in place, and you have to make sure that you are ready for any kind of disaster which is coming in.
That's right. Also
people are trying, and it's going to happen. We have to get a positive side, that we have to make sure we are doing things positively, because any kind of negativity is not any useful for us right now. So we have to make sure we say yes, it's going to happen, and yes, we are going to shoot. Yes, there are a whole lot of people who are going to get their jobs back, and yes, we all are going to work, because it is a chain reaction. So it starts off with us saying a yes first.
Yes, right, correct. Ma'am, many of the scripts or the films have intimate scenes in them, be it a normal kiss, simple kiss.
Me about intimate scenes, Anita.
Sorry.
Me, yaar.
A lot of filmmakers are, asking the writers to do away with those kind of scenes. What is your take on it? I know none of your films have these, but yeah, I'm just asking you.
I have not thought about it. I read about this.
Yes.
Especially, I think internationally there are so many intimate scenes across. I seriously don't have a point of view on this. I mean, what do I say? I'm not in that shoes. So only when you are in that shoes, you start thinking that way. When you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me now how do you do a sports scene and how are you going to do it, then I know, because it's really difficult to go and do a sports scene out there. So
yes, not only intimate scenes, any kind of where larger crowds are involved, be it like a sports where you have to show off a stadium full of audience. All these will be very difficult to shoot going forward. So what do you think? How are we going to deal with this situation?
No, I think okay, I am a school of thought where I should not give up on a scene or anything. If it is required in the script, it has to be there. Then you have to find a way to do it. Whether not now, then maybe later. You push it for later. But if something is really required and you cannot get away with it, then you should do it. It has to be done. Because if it's taking the story forward, if it's a very important thing, that it has to be there, and that's how things will move forward, and that's how your film is a film, a story is a film, then it has to happen. And there's no two ways about it. As a creator. Also, then you need to find ways to do it. It's like as simple as as simple as that you have a script in front of you, and sometimes you have written some things which might some scenes which might be a little more expensive when you start budgeting it. But then if you want to get it in the right budget without getting your script hampered, without getting your scene hampered, then you twist the scene according to what budget you've been given, but without hampering, and no one will ever get to know about it also, because you as a creator, you always think 200%, and then you have to come somewhere in between when mostly you get to do what you want to do, but there will be some times when you have to work around the budget and get that thing. So this is as simple as that. So if it is really important, then you need to keep it and shoot it at a later stage. That will be my point of view as a creator.
Right. Ma'am, also, most of our films also work, like you mentioned about marketing. The way we market, like we go on promotion sphere and we do a lot of other things. Do you think post the lockdown gets over, once the movies are in theaters, the promotion strategy and the promotion sphere will reduce, or will they still continue? What do you think?
I think a whole lot of things have changed. The way we are talking now has changed. Ideally, I would be sitting with you in a coffee shop or in one of your studio and talking to you. So evolution is all about. So yes, of course, things are going to change after the lockdown, and travel is definitely going to become less. Travel is going to become less. From a time where we used to, as writers, we used to meet almost every day together and writing together. When the lockdown happened, we for the first 3-4 days we were figuring out what to do, because any change is always restrained. So, and then you start getting fidgety. Oh God, there's so much left, and you can't meet. Now what are we going to do? Okay, let's try doing a FaceTime and figuring, can we do it? It started becoming very interesting. And we started writing on FaceTime. And the idea was that what happens is that when you're together, you can at least tell someone who's talking much and you want to say, hey, I have something, and you say, Ruk ja, main bhi bata rahi hu, yeah, all four of us we're writing, Nitesh, me, Sherry, Push right now. Now what we do is we have a bell, and If I want to talk, then I just put that bell there and I say, hey, it's like, listen to me now, I need to talk.
Okay.
That's a behavior change, and we have adapted to it. And I think going forward, we feel that we have saved so much of time traveling
Yeah.
in the city. So
Right.
we decided that even after the lockdown opens, we will meet once a week, but otherwise we are going to be just
Doing
FaceTiming,
FaceTime.
discussing. Yeah,
Oh,
what is the need to keep meeting? And also for small meetings, you travel outside.
yeah.
I'm traveling about, anyways, I stay far. So I'm traveling about 1.5 hours to reach a place. Then I finish that meeting in half an hour, 1 hour, and I come back. I told all my producers that I'm not coming and meeting you all. We are going to do Zoom call or whatever call now.
I
And then
think
I'm
we
just
all,
talking about it.
yeah, we
So
all have got comfortable in this now
yeah,
by
so
doing
right
FaceTime
now,
and
right now, if you see, there are so many, and it is the new normal. And I feel that when you the same thing is going to be adapted in promotions also, unless it is really really required,
hmm,
then you do those kind of things, or you think of new ideas of how are you going to work. See, when there was a print age, then there was a TV age, then there was a
yes,
digital age.
digital, yeah,
And in the digital age, then marketing creators started thinking of how do we use the digital platforms, and started doing digital marketing, and that became
right,
the new thing. Then from the digital marketing came a direct marketing kind of place, where you're going directly to the consumer or to our
right,
audience to do stuff. Then you got, so DM had all these college concerts and all those kind of things. From the
right,
DM you went on to live talks on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you had more user engagement there.
right, right.
From here, we are going to move forward now. Now, what is going to be? It would be the pandemic age, or the
Yeah,
COVID age, where you start thinking of different ideas now.
exactly. So we are doing live every day. We are doing Zoom call interviews. We have so many
Haven't all
things to
of
do.
you all, correct? Haven't all of you all just figured out your
Yeah,
life? You
we
have to,
have.
right? Uh, uh, Otherwise, you can't say, okay, now this is it and this is how it's going to be. No.
Hmm,
A human evolution is that, okay, this is a situation. Now, what am I going to do with the situation?
correct.
I can sit and cry and crib and say, oh, this is what it was, and uh, what can we do? Or we can say,
Right,
hey, let's make uh, make a star out of the situation.
right. Yeah.
And that's how
So,
great ideas are born.
yes. I agree. So, ma'am, the actors always take their cut. So, during right now in the scenario we are, do you think that will also change where they take the profit share or they take their the cut?
I would not be in a place to talk about it. I mean, I wouldn't know also. Uh,
Okay.
I think everyone is intelligent enough to know what the situation is, and according to the, I'm just telling from a very outside perspective, what I gauge
Mm-hmm.
is that according to the budget of the film and what is
Mm-hmm.
the film looking like now, whenever it happens,
Yeah.
because everyone is so unclear about what is going to happen next. All
Right.
dates have
Right.
been shifted here and there, and dates aligned given also have been shifted across. So
Hmm.
it's all a chain reaction, right?
Right.
And the market dynamics, what is going to happen there. So according to that, everyone will make their clear choices of what they feel is correct for that situation.
True. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Ashwini ma'am. It was really lovely having a conversation with you. Seriously, it was, I
Thank,
enjoyed this
thank you.
conversation.
I hope cool.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Take care. Bye.